We go. We are live. Look at that. You're looking live, folks. AR Platinum joins me on my nightly live chat. What's up, buddy?
What's up? What's up?
How are you, man?
And I'm great. What you drinking on? I got Diet Dew and tequila.
Wait, whoa. Hold on. We're just off to a what the fuck just happened moment. I'm drinking my Crown Reserve. I've been drinking Crown. You know what's weird? We're going to talk about Mountain Dew and fucking tequila in just a second. But I'm not a drinker. I don't drink a lot. On occasion I'll have a whiskey and I mix it with Diet Coke because I'm a puss. But I'm not like an every night. If I buy a 6-pack of beer, it'll sit in the fridge for like 3 months. But when I started doing these live chats every night, I was like, I'm just going to have a drink and chill and have some fun because that was the whole point. So I've literally went through a bottle of this already. Well, the hand selected, I went through that already. And now I'm on this. I'm like, I'm going to be an alcoholic if I don't get out from under this fucking quarantine.
Well, that's going to be called. It's going to be called the accidental alcoholic. Like my dad is the accidental racist, right?
Is he?
Like, they'll say some shit and then you're like,
You're like, bro, you can't really say that, homie. All right, first of all, I just so you know, I've got a chat screen in front of me that I'll be going to quite often when people send chats or whatever. So I'll try to give as many, shout outs of what JC the Texas Scratcher's in, mother of 2, wife of 1. That's a very interesting name. I'm guessing mother of 2 is a she. Nowadays you never know. Craig White, Walt, my guy Walt's in, Chris Reyes. So here we go. You're already bringing them in, AR Platinum. Doesn't surprise me. First things first, why the fuck are you drinking tequila with Mountain Dew? Is it Diet Mountain Dew, you said?
Diet Dew, gotta be diet.
Okay, I'm with you because I'm Diet Coke and whiskey.
I get it. Like it's too sweet. Regular Dew's too sweet. Vodka, it's too Just so it's a reposado tequila. So it's a little smoky, but it's got just a little bit of funk to it. It goes well.
I don't know shit about tequila. I know worm, no worm. That's literally all I know about tequila.
Yeah, I went to Specs to get like one thing, and $200 later, I've got everything.
You've got all the tequila. Yeah, see.
Fuck.
So what are you? Are you a big drinker? You drink all the time?
No, it's kind of like you, like right now, there ain't shit to do.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I going to do? Drink and watch Netflix.
Exactly. Santos Martinez is in the chat. Santos has been a huge supporter of these live chats since I started. He's been in every single one of them. I love this dude. But he goes, first thing he says, AR's background makes it look like he's being held captive, and this is his plea video.
Yeah.
The fuck? Santos, that is great.
So I've got the wife and 3 of her friends. I've been making drinks all afternoon. I got them on the inside. I was like, I got to find somewhere. So I had to go to the garage and find a corner. I got my light rig set up.
Did you grab your balls while you were looking for a place to let the ladies have the house?
He's got them hanging around her neck.
Okay.
Where they belong.
Fair enough. I've been really looking forward to you joining me on these live chats for a myriad of reasons. Because for those that don't know who you are, AR Platinum, you have the single largest YouTube channel dedicated to Lotto in the US of A.
Bro,
is that
is
that correct?
Okay.
The single largest YouTube channel in the US dedicated to Lotto.
There is one guy in the UK who's got more than me, and that's it.
So second largest in the world.
In the world.
Of the world, Craig. Okay. Now, so many questions. First of all, I do radio. You were listening to the show one day, and I was talking about my YouTube channel and how I don't know what the fuck to do with it, and I didn't. And you were like, "Bro, you need to monetize it. Let me send you some followers." And I was like,
25,000.
That was back then. Fuck.
Yeah.
So that was a couple years ago, right? Like that was like 2 years ago.
Like 2 years.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. I looked at your channel and I was like, God damn, he's got 25. You did it, and I immediately went from like 80, I think, or something like that, to like 1,200. I was like, fuck, man, that's crazy. So I was
It
like,
was funny because
go ahead.
on the air you're like, oh yeah, this guy send some subscribers your way. Oh, all right, well, okay. And then like 2 days later, you start off the show. You're like, all right. Before we start,
Yeah.
my channel got blown the fuck up by all these comments. They were like, AR sent me, and I gave away like $100, right? Because I was like, dude, you're funny as shit. I know the potential's there. You gotta figure out the details.
Yeah.
That's the easy part, like it's all fluid. You'll work it out. But getting people to give a fuck is the hard, because if they don't know you, who the fuck are you, right? You're just some asshole. I'm still just some asshole scratching off lottery tickets in my car. But if they don't know you, they don't know. They don't care. So getting that first like 1,000, 10,000 is the hardest part, and after that, it just kind of steamrolls. I tell people it's like pushing a big ass rock up a hill, a boulder up a hill. Big Mo, if you ever, I know you did the IT shit. I don't know if they did all the like teamwork. And
yeah.
It's compound effect type shit. You push the big rock up the hill. Once you let it go, it just goes. So but getting up there's a bitch.
When it happened, yeah, you like got me to 1,200 like that, and then I still didn't know what the fuck to do with it. I was like, but I was so intrigued. Like, what does this guy do? How is this even possible? What's going on? So I went to your YouTube channel, and you are currently sitting at 64,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Now, on your About Me on the YouTube, because I was like, okay, let me see what his videos are. And then I was like, wait a minute. This dude is scratching lottery tickets. Surely there's not 65,000 people watching this dude scratch lottery tickets. And it is. And on your description, it just says, here you're going to be watching me play scratch-off tickets. Make sure to subscribe. And 65,000 people were like, fuck yeah, I am.
Well, so
what's the now? You told me off air one time because I asked you about it. I was like, what's the deal? You tell everybody listening and watching, how did you get people to start watching you scratch lotto tickets?
So I was a manager at Lifetime Fitness for like 5-6 years, and I moved to sales to get sales experience, and get GM path, and blah blah blah, corporate ladder bullshit. Miserable. Would leave at the ass crack of dawn to go sell memberships. I'd get home. My wife, my kid were asleep when I left and asleep when I got home.
Mm-hmm.
And I never saw him. My kid didn't know who I was. He was 6 months old. I pick him up and he'd cry, right?
Damn.
About the same time, my manager was giving my boy Brent Singleton, shout out to Brent, that's my dude. He was giving out a $50 ticket to whoever would sell the most memberships the last day of the month. And I was like, God damn, $50 ticket. That's crazy, man. Like, fuck, if you lose, like, you're like, that's a pair of shoes. Like, I don't know. So I started doing research, and it led me to YouTube. Now, like I told you and Joel, before I did the scratch offs, I had done the sports cards. And so I had already, I had the second largest sports card channel in America. We had started, very similar to gambling, this thing called group breaks, where we would buy high-end, top-dollar, expensive sports cards, $800 a box, right? Back in 2008, 2007. And we'd buy 3 boxes, $2,400. So what I would do is say, look, I'm going to split this between 24 people, and everybody's going to pay $100. And you all get a team. The 8 teams that suck, the Jaguars, Texans at the time, whoever sucks, fuck them, we're not going to put them in there. The 24 best teams, everybody gets a team drawn at random. And then you got whatever cards came out for that team, and nobody knew. So you might pay $100 and get $1,000 card and be like, holy shit, this is great. And I only had to pay $100. So I'd already kind of done it. So I kind of had, I knew what was going on.
Because your YouTube channel says you've been on YouTube since 2006.
06, yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
November of 06, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I had already kind of done that. And what happened was, PayPal at the time, after 2 years and about $500,000 worth of sports cards coming through, was like, yeah, you're running a gambling operation, you're done permanently. Because what happened was the same way that you got like OU Mike, who's a fucking troll, right?
Yeah.
They talk shit just to talk shit. They would join my things just in the hopes that they would lose, and then they'd complain to PayPal.
Gotcha. And
eventually enough of that happened where PayPal was like, yeah, bro, you're done. So I didn't have PayPal, I had to stop. That's when I started working at the gym. right? I was like, fuck, now I got to find a real job. I've been a YouTuber for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So stop doing that shit. But I already kind of knew what was going on with YouTube. So when I went into sales and I saw these people scratch up lottery tickets on YouTube, and they were all like, today, so I got like, I got a $50 ticket, and I'm gonna scratch it. Like, I wanted to watch the video for the product review, right? But I was like, God damn, like, fuck, dude, like, come on, like, entertain me a little bit, do something. And it was just so unbearable to watch these people that were doing it do it, because they didn't have any flair. They didn't have any funk to them, right? And I had already kind of done that before, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this out. There's nobody doing it. There's obviously a market for it.
How many channels at the time when you first started? How many channels were there, would you say?
Maybe 50. Now there's thousands of people doing this. And that's what's cool is, you know, all these people text me and they're like, dude, I want to do this. I want to do this. I'm like, fuck yeah, do it. Don't do it if you're trying to make money, because you got to eat shit for a couple of years before you start making enough money. And a lot of people can't afford to do that. I didn't quit my job until 4 years of doing this and making this a full-time job, until, you know, they kind of got, well, the same amount of money at work as I'm making on YouTube. And then it was like, well, fuck work. Work sucks.
Yeah.
But there was this opportunity, and it was like, dude, and I tell everybody, like, go next time you're at the gas station, and there's a big ass line in front of you, watch how many people get a lottery ticket, right? They're all my fans. They just don't know it yet, right? It's just, there's somebody that maybe they buy a $2 ticket or a $3 ticket or a $5 ticket, but they'll never pull the trigger on a 50. Well, fuck, I go spend $400 on a video. And you watch me buy 4 different 50s, 2 30s, 5 20s, and 4 10s, and spend $400 on shit that you can't ever buy. So when you do go buy it, you already know which ones I have good luck on and I shit the bed on. Like, you know, it's a product review, but at the same time, it's fun and it's interesting. It's like Joel, right? You hit the switch and it's, what up, H-Town, right? There's some flair to it. There's some personality that.
So it's more about people watching because of you. I mean, they're into lottery, they're into the lotto, they're into scratch offs, but it's a product, because they could watch any of the other 50 or 1,000 YouTube channels out there. It has more to do with you, your personality, how you present it. And I've watched the videos. I've watched plenty of your videos, and you do. I think I even said this on air one day. I was like, who's watching? It's kind of like me in esports. I was like, who's watching this? But then, like, last night, I'm watching 2 dudes play baseball on fucking Twitch. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? It was the same thing. I was like, who's watching this? And then I started watching it. And I was like, oh, okay. That was fucking interesting. I was anticipating, what's he going to get? What's going to happen? Is he going to match? This is $50. This is $100 on the line. I got it. I was like, okay, now I see. I don't understand 65,000 people, but I think that's amazing, dude.
Well, I'm lucky because in Texas, you know, we're one of the largest states, right? So we have a bigger audience. If I was in Rhode Island, fuck me, it's not going to work because nobody gives a fuck about Rhode Island lottery tickets, right?
Right.
But because there are so many people in Texas, there's an advantage that's built in. Texas, or California, New York, there's just more people that are playing, right? There's just more opportunity. And, you know, I think it's just one of those things where if you build it, they will come, right? You know, if you're doing some shit, people kind of, it doesn't make sense to me either, right? I tell people it's oddly addictive. I don't know why, but people enjoy it. And it's been probably the most humbling experience of my life because, and you probably know the same from radio, like you have unexpected things that happen when you talk to people and you're like, fuck, I didn't get into radio for this, but this happened. Like when people are like, yeah, dude, I'm going to die from cancer in the next 6 months. But I watch your videos to get me through chemo and shit, man. It's super awesome. I watch you every day. You're like,
yep.
Like what do I say to that?
Yeah,
Right?
we've had people call on air and say stuff like that. It's like, wow, that's like you said, it's very humbling when stuff like that
Right.
happens because you're appreciative of every fan or every viewer or every listener that you get, man. Now, okay, I'm going to check back in with the chat here. Mother of two, wife of one said, when this lockdown is over, it's Vegas. Do you do a lot of Vegas?
Dude, so Vegas is a trip. I do. I actually was supposed to be in New Orleans right now filming some casinos, some slot stuff, because I'm trying to kind of cross over into that because there's just a bigger audience. Like the biggest guy doing slots has about 200,000.
Okay.
Right? Cool dude. Shout out to Brian Christopher. But it's just a bigger audience. The problem is in Vegas, they're still weary of filming. So I can film at downtown, like more casinos downtown, the D, Golden Nugget, I think are cool with it, and Cosmopolitan. So I'll go stay at Caesars because I play a lot at Caesars resorts. So Caesars, Harrah's, all the different Caesars resorts, but they won't let me film.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to go film at Cosmo, and then I stay at Caesars, but I'm trying to incorporate more of that because it's the same type of shit,
Yeah.
you know, gamblers.
Yeah.
You know, it's what it is. We went to the racetrack a couple weeks ago before it shut down, like the week before it shut down, and we did some stuff there. It's kind of cool.
So are you starting a separate channel just for gambling or just for slots? Or?
I'm just gonna add it in and kind of half and half.
So on your same channel though.
On the main.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brandon Martinez, when is your other cellmate's gonna show up? Come in from rec?
Miss T's here.
What's that?
Oh, Miss T.
Miss T is in. Eric Resendez checked in. What's up, Eric? Patrick, Jeremy, I see you, buddy. Jeremy's been watching a lot of these as well. Patrick said, AR Platinum, was you the $1 million winner at the $120 ticket? Was that you? Hell no, he wouldn't be telling me. Did you win the million?
I wish. Dude, so it's funny. I got 3 people from YouTube that I know won shit tons. My buddy Brad won 10 million in Missouri.
Oh my God.
Yeah, changed his life.
You think 10 million will tend to do that, you know?
10 mil will do it for you.
Bro, if I was sitting here fucking scratching a ticket while we were talking and it said $1 million, I would fucking end the video right in mid-sentence. I'd be like, oh, I just won 10 million. Boom, fucking, I would shut everything down. Yeah, I would shut everything down. I would sell this house. I would leave the country. Like, I'm not fucking around with 10 million. I'm done.
Well, it sucked because he was in Missouri. So I gotta tell him to fucking come watch this shit. I talk to him like every day. He had to pay like fucking almost half. It was like 40% in taxes because Missouri has state taxes.
Oh, bless his heart. He only ended up with 6 million. I'm so fucking sad for your friend.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Shucks.
Yeah.
What's the most you've ever won on a scratch off?
So that's
now
the cool
I see.
thing
Like Miss T said, Kentucky Scratcher won 60,000. Is it? Are they? Am I using the right terminology? Scratch offs?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know there's specific terminology that I probably don't know.
No, that was cool. It was on a live stream. He and from what I heard, I don't know him personally. He could have used that 60 at the time.
Oh yeah.
This was recent. Yeah, 60 grand.
That'll really upgrade your trailer in Kentucky.
Oh, dude, you can get the double wide.
You can get some new steps, so you don't have to fucking jump up in it.
Yeah, no, it's that's the kind of shit though that is cool because what's funny about this whole thing is you've got supporters who are like rooting for you to win big. So when you eat shit, they're like, oh fuck, man, and it hurts them too because they're like, bro, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, nah, it's cool. I've got ad revenue that makes up for all this, you know, blah, 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 blah. But then you've got the haters that just want you to lose and eat shit. And so it works out great for them too. So even when I lose, it's like, fuck it, you know, they'll be happy. The subs will be upset, but they'll still watch, you know. But it's the clickbait shit is what it's funny. Like today's video, I did horrible. I spent like $250 on 130, right?
Damn.
Yeah, shitty. Usually I'll say some shit like, this was incredible. Incredible in a bad way. Unbelievable, right? This was and they go, oh, this fucking bullshit, clickbait, goddamn fucking shit, blah, 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 blah. And they yell at me. So today I said, don't watch this. Just don't. Don't watch it.
Yeah.
It's the number 4 video out of my last 10, right? It is what it is. So, but I'm sure they'll yell at me about that too. I can't win. You know what it's like with haters. Like, you can't do anything right. But
well, I'm curious because so nothing really changes other than the result of the scratch off, right? Like do you
right.
you get the cards or the scratch offs, and then you kind of walk people through. You're like, all right, so this one it says I have to match these numbers, or I have to get 3 of the same thing. And then you start scratching, and you're just basically talking and walking everybody through it as you do it, right?
Yeah. Right.
It's so simple, but it's fucking 65,000 people. And you told me what you made in a month, and I'm not going to reveal that. But then that's when I was like, oh, tell me more about this YouTube. It's fucking crazy.
So all the time, people are like, I had a guy send me like a 10-page front and back, like angry girlfriend letter, right? About how I'm a fucking addict and I got a problem and how dare you do this and you're a bad influence on other people and shit like that. And I'm like, listen, if you have to pay for gas to get to work and tolls to get to work and wear and tear on your vehicle, that's cost of getting to work. You know what I mean? Like, I set a budget, $2,000 a month I can lose and still make enough to pay all my bills and have money left over for the whole shit, all my shit. But I plan to lose $2,000. That's just, I expect it. It's going to happen. That's cost of production cost, right? It is what it is. But people all the time will shit on me. They'll send me nasty letters or emails or comments. How dare you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, I'm every month I publish how much I spent, how much I won, how much I lost, to give an accurate description of this is what the lottery is.
And what does that average out to in a month? What you spend $2,000? Do you on an average? Okay, let me ask you this: at the end of the year, if you spent $24,000,
no, lost 24,000.
But
I lost last year 25,000. I spent about 85.
Okay, because you said you had a budget of $2,000 a month
to lose.
Oh, okay.
To lose. Yeah, I spend 6,000 to 8,000 a month.
Well, I don't understand how does that fucking, if you spend.
Well, you're gonna win back some. Right? Like today,
I got you. So you spend $2,000 this month. On some of those, you're gonna win money. You may win. Let's say you spent $100 today. You might win 300. Right. Tomorrow, you're gonna spend $400. The 300 plus the 100.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right. So, like today, I spent I made 3 videos. Well, I made 4, but the first 3 I spent 400. I won 670.
Okay.
And then I spent 140 and 170. Spent 80 and I spent 30 and 100. I wound up like 210 ahead. For the day
over 4 videos,
right? Yeah. Right. So I made 104. I made $340 profit today, but on another day I might spend 1,200 and get back 900 and lose 300.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So there's the up and down, but I budget to lose 1,200. So like when I do my taxes, I'll look at my YouTube revenue, subtract what I lost. That's my production costs.
Yeah.
And then I'll pay taxes on whatever's left over.
Got you. That makes sense. That's a lot, man. That's but and it's weird because you picked a channel idea that requires a lot of cash, an outlay.
Yeah.
And so it had to be really bad in the beginning. What was like when you first started, the first scratch off video that you made? How many followers did you have at the time, and how many views did it get? Now I'm sure it's got more now because people scroll back, but.
I had the first one I did, and I got so much shit for it because at the time I was filming at the house, and I'd be like, tell my wife and my newborn, right? Like, hey, go to the fucking room and be quiet. I got to do this shit. And they're like, who the fuck are you? Whatever. Like, whatever. It was a Dallas Cowboys ticket. Fuck the Cowboys, by the way. Fuck the Texans. Go Chiefs.
Exactly. Go Chiefs.
I hate Bill O'Brien. So it was 4 of these Cowboys tickets, and I filmed it in portrait mode, and I got lit.
Yeah, you
up.
fucked that up.
And it was an accident. I had this setup for the first like 2 years of boxes on boxes with counterweights so that I could hang my phone and get this top down shot.
Uh-huh.
And it was bullshit, but I forgot to like align the phone and then drop it down. So it filmed in portrait, and I didn't have the editing skills like I do now to switch it around. I got shit on and got like, now it's got more views now because people go back and be like,
Sure.
this is where it started.
Yeah, everybody wants to do that. They always go to your first video.
Right.
So at the time, how many views did you get over like the course of 2 or 3 weeks?
Dude, nothing. Nothing. It was just people coming to shit on. Right.
So I mean, what's nothing? What, 100, 500, 2,000?
Nothing. Like nothing. Like maybe 100.
Okay.
And I just kept doing this, and it was like, hey, you got the first month, I think I got 38 subscribers.
Okay.
38. I was like, all right, cool. I'm not really doing a whole lot. But as I started getting more serious about it and publishing more regularly,
and that's the key. Like if people out there are listening, and who better to do, model themselves after than a guy that's built this from nothing. One of the big keys that everybody will tell you is just keep putting out content, and that's half the battle, right? Is just being consistently creative.
Everybody's like, well, I need a camera, this and that. I'm like, listen, man, I'm in this piece of shit Buick with the steering wheel tilted up and my phone shoved in the steering wheel, filming on a kid's book in my lap with 65,000 people watching.
Yeah.
I could do better, but they don't want that. I switch up the background and they go, what happened to the kid's book? And I'm like, fuck, man. It was like something that was in my car once that I just grabbed. Was like, fuck it, I need something to scratch on, so I'm not scratching on my dick, right? And so I grabbed this book, and now it's become the background. 100 first things to spot, right? This kid's book.
Yeah.
But when I don't use it, I get shit on. What happened to the book, man? What happened to the book?
That's great.
Where's the book?
That's
so. It's a trip, man. Like the whole thing, none of it makes sense, right? And people always ask me, "Oh, so what do you do?" I'm like,
I'm a YouTuber.
I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah. That's probably the best. Just stop there. I'm a YouTuber because people are already going to be like, "You're a YouTuber." All right, that's fucking.
Oh.
People don't. I think people look at that and like I had no idea until you told me. You were like, Barry, last month I made X, and I was like, how is that possible? And but it's because you have a fan base, you have supporters, and YouTube needs content. Right. They want content. They run ads. They're making money off you. I mean, it's a legitimate thing. It's a real thing. What you said that at one point you were still working and doing this. Were you ever like, when you first started this, were you ever like, okay, I'm going to get this back to where I don't have to work anymore? Because you said you stopped. You were doing the cards, the sports cards, the memorabilia channel, and then you started working at 24 Hour Fitness, or was it Lifetime? Lifetime Fitness. And then, and then you were like, okay, so I'm going to start this YouTube channel again and you basically started from scratch, right? Like 0 followers. You went one day and created AR Platinum, which we're going to get to why you chose that name. But then you started with 0 or very little, and
so I had a couple thousand like residual, like just
from the other one. Like, hey, you guys go follow this other channel,
right? Yeah. So most of those people had already unsubscribed or were just like, "The fuck, you're making a new video." It was funny because I lost so many people when I started doing the new one because they were like, "Wait, shit, AR Platinum's back, lottery tickets." Fuck.
So you used the same channel.
Same channel, because I was already monetized, already had everything set up. It was just easy. And it looked like I had more subscribers than I did, right? Because I had like 3,000 or 4,000. And at the time, the biggest lottery channels had like 1 or 2 in the US, like 1,000, 2,000. So all of a sudden, I'm the big fucking dog, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
Right? But it looked that way.
Okay.
So I said, I'm going to run with it. And I just started doing it. But I think the turning point for me, it was funny, man, because I had moved to Dallas. Fuck Dallas, by the way. I'd moved to Dallas for work, and just absolute miserable experience, right? Had to move back. They didn't pay for me to move back. I was paying 2 mortgages for 2 months, which was miserable. Wasn't making that kind of money. And came back, and I had to drive from Atascocita to Cinco Ranch every day for work.
Damn, okay.
Right?
Yep, I feel that.
Hour and a half away, and they opened me at first. It was like they were like, "Hey, man, welcome. We love you. We've known you for 5, 6, 7 years. Blah blah blah." And they had lottery tickets on my office chair. Right. 4 months later, they were like, "We think you're spending a little too much time on this lottery thing." And it was like, okay, all right, I see what's going, because they found out how much money I was making, right? And then, well, we think you're doing this at work. I'm like, I don't have to do this shit at work. Like, this is like, I do a whole lot of work on one day, and then I do a little bit of work every day.
Yeah, upload
right?
it. Yeah, that's smart. So you don't film every day. A lot of people probably think that. How many videos a day do you post?
So every day I post one, but I might film.
Well, you said
you
said today you filmed 4.
Today I did 4, right? It was just like I need to get some shit out. But typically, like if I'm like, all right, let's go. It might be an 8-hour day filming. I might do 9 to 12 videos. I might film 3 or 4 days a month.
Okay.
That's it.
And then you post.
And then it's every day. Okay, I gotta do thumbnails. I gotta edit, which editing sucks. I hate editing. But it's a little bit of work. I mean, it's probably 80 hours of work a month between the editing and the Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the shit, talking to people, right? Like having conversations with people, designing the merch, selling the merch. I'm the only guy, right? It's a one-man business. So I'm the receiving, I'm the shipping, I'm everything. Yeah. But still, it's 20 hours a week.
Yeah, and it could be worse, right? You could be working for somebody else. Could have a corporate gig. So if somebody was going to start a channel, what would be, like, we talked about consistency and uploads and creating content, because obviously if you're posting one video every 3 months, you're never going to, if you could post every day, you should, which for me, we were talking about this before we went on air, because you were like, bro, your subs are up. And I was like, well, it's because I started fucking doing these live chats, which it was just to fucking kill time. I was literally just like, I'm going to kill time and talk to different people that I find interesting or friends or whatever. Like I have a chef named Chef Machete coming on in a couple of days. I've only known this. I only know this dude like 2 or 3 times, but I find his story fascinating, just like your story. So I was like, I just want to talk to interesting people. And then I was like, well, I'll live stream it, but I don't want to do any work. I just want to, like, you and I didn't have any pre-show meeting. I don't do background stuff. I don't research shit. I called you 5 minutes before, and it's like, we connected Skype. We went live. We're going to shoot the shit for however long it feels natural and comfortable, and then end the transaction, and it's uploaded. I don't have to edit. I don't do shit. So even that, though, I mean, since April 2nd, I've added probably over 100. 120? Yeah, over 100, maybe closer to 120 since in what, 12 days? And it's just by being consistent, and I'm not really making anything. I just click a few buttons and we chat, and then YouTube does the work. So if you are thinking about it, that's the number one thing that I've seen. What would you say besides that is the most important thing? So
I tell everybody the same shit, which is like, don't get caught up in thinking that you have to have the best of the best of this and that. Like I said, I'm an asshole scratching off lottery tickets in my car, right? I'm using my phone. I've used my phone the entire time. I've got an app that I edit on and an app that I do photos on, but it's just personality, right? Like, create the content, get it out there, worry about the rest of the shit later, right? The specifics, it's fluid, because what you intend on doing and what happens are 2 different things. And kind of like Usual Suspects, right? Like, I'm sure when you first met Joel and y'all started getting on the air, like, you're like, fuck do we do? Yeah. And then, it comes in like, I didn't know they smell their own farts. Yeah. Right? Like, it ends the same way. It starts the same way. What up, H-Town? Like, things just happen. Yep. Right? You don't know what's going to happen. I didn't know what was going to be cool, what was going to work, what wasn't going to work. You try shit out, and the fans will tell you what works and what doesn't work, and you just kind of merge. But if you don't have shit, if you don't have any data points for them to tell you, you're not going to get anything. So just put shit out. And if it sucks, fuck it. It's not a failure, right? It's just a learning experience. You're going to know that didn't work. Cool. We won't do that shit.
I find it fascinating because and I'm not trying to belittle what you do, but I'm trying to put it into a perspective, because I want people to understand that nothing is too minuscule or too obscure or too dumb to be something one day. Because you think about what you make a living doing something that most people do at their lunch break before or after they go to work. They go to the convenience store. I mean, my dad every day when he worked he would leave Brown and Root or Halliburton, drive straight to the first convenience store, get a beer, put it in a brown bag, buy some scratch off, sit in there, scratch some tickets, drive home and drink his beer. By the way, totally illegal. Don't do that. But this dude, but you see it all the time. Anytime you go to the convenience store, there's somebody in their car scratching lotto tickets. And you took that activity and made it into the second largest YouTube channel based on that activity and make money.
Right. And my thought was, so I tell everybody the same shit, right? Especially like my wife's little brothers and sisters. She got 7, and they're 26 to 9,
7
10.
kids.
A lot of fucking, little brothers.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fucking kids. But I tell them all the same shit, which is like, listen, I'm not going, oh, follow your passion. You'll never work a day in your life. No, it's fucking work, right? If you don't fucking work, you don't work, you don't eat, you don't grind, you don't shine. But it's true. Like if you don't put into it, it's not going to put out, right? But if you're doing something you're passionate about, understand that somebody else and probably a lot of fucking people are just as passionate as you are about that same thing. Whether it makes sense or not, like you have that connection with somebody. Like, dude, I fucking love lottery tickets, but I don't have $50. But I'll watch you spend $50 on lottery tickets because I can't.
Yeah.
Right. One of the craziest things is the people that'll message me and go, dude, I've got a problem. I don't need, like, my wife is going to leave me if I don't fucking stop scratching off lottery tickets. So what I do is I watch you and I get my fix.
Wow.
Never mind. My intention was like, these videos suck. I'm going to make good videos that I would watch. And I hope that people like them too. But I didn't think like it would turn into what it turned into. I was like, man, if I can make a couple $100 a month, I'll be cool. Yeah. I didn't think, fuck, I'm going to quit my job and this is going to turn into this thing and merchandise and all this shit. That wasn't
the plan.
But
I would imagine, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I imagine you would almost be like, look, if I could just pay for my tickets and my losses, cover my costs, then I'm basically like, if I could, let's just use numbers. But if I spend $2,000 and lose $2,000, if I could make $2,000 off YouTube and break even, great. I can scratch tickets and I never lose a fucking cent because of the YouTube revenue.
And at some point, when you spend, as much money as I spend, right? And that's kind of the flip side of this is there are channels that only show wins. I show everything, right? And then I publish all the results so people know, like, don't fucking think that you're going to just win big, because here's the reality of it, right? I lost $27,000 last year, I think, some shit like that. If I didn't have YouTube revenue backing that up, I wouldn't fucking do that. You're out of your mind. So don't fucking do this, right? It's just stupid to do this. But I have the money backing it up. But at some point, I'll hit 10, 20, 50,000, 100,000. At some point, when you spend $8,000 a month, $100,000 a year on tickets, you're going to win something big. And when I do, it's already paid for.
Yeah.
I got paid to win something big, And even my dad, who at first was like, I think you have a problem, son. And then I started showing him checks, right? And he's like,
it's a good problem to have, Dad.
That makes sense.
Big Pineapple Productions said people get pissed when anything is off in his videos. I guess that was going back to the book thing. Like if you changed it up, once they like get comfortable with it, it's the same thing. If there were certain things we do on the radio show that if we stopped doing them, people are like, hey, what the fuck? Why don't you guys do that anymore? And it's that people get used to stuff. They don't like change. Miss T had to go, but she said she loves you.
Miss T, babe, she's old school, man. Yeah. She is old school.
Walt says this is extremely interesting. See, Walt, this is why I wanted to do this, because I just found this fascinating, and I wanted to get the inside track on it, because you and I had some discussions, but I wanted all the people to hear this.
Listen, it's fucking weird, right? I mean, let's be honest, right? I'm not a stranger to this shit. People all the time, because look, when you go to a gas station, okay, and you go, it's especially if it's new, and you go, let me get a number one. The gas station goes, hey buddy, look, you know this is $50, right, buddy? And you go, yeah, motherfucker. I'm like stacks of cash. I'm about to drop $1,000 today, dude. Like, trust me, I know. And they're like, okay, buddy. Well, what else do you want? And I'm like, let me get a number one, number two, number three, number four. The people in line are like, hey man, what do you do to buy all these motherfuckers? And I'm like, man, I'm a YouTuber. If you want to see how I did, go check out my channel.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
But it's weird because people look at you like either A, you have a problem, or B, they think you're fucking balling, right? And I'm like, no, man, look, I'm just paying the bills, you know. But it's crazy, dude. Like the conversations I have to have with people to explain like how this works, why it works, why I'm doing it. It's weird, man. It's weird.
I want to get to the science of this in a second, but Santos Martinez had a good question. He said, AR, if you buy four $20 tickets, do you buy all the same ones or do you split it up? Now, that kind of leads into there's a science to buying tickets. One day, I'm not going to lie, you had me down a fucking rabbit hole of spreadsheets and lottotexas.org websites. And I was like, the fuck am I doing? I don't even play scratch offs. And I was so into the numbers and the science of it. So to answer his question and beyond, what is the science of scratch offs?
So I tell everybody the same shit, which is they go, well, why don't you play draw games? Like, you know, Texas jackpot, whatever the fuck, winning millions, or I'll play like Powerball if it gets like $1 billion. But every time those games start, you're fucking starting over from scratch, right? A lot of the scratch offs have pre-programmed parameters. And you can use those, you can exploit those to an extent. And if you know what questions to ask the lottery commission through the public
information
public
Act.
records.
Yeah, Public Information Act.
Right.
Yeah.
So things you can do, you understand. And so if the lottery ticket has 3 jackpots and they make 3 million tickets, okay, cool. It's 1 per million tickets, right? But if there's 20 tickets per pack, well, that's 50,000 packs per jackpot, right? So you know, based off because they publish the pack numbers for the winning
and
tickets,
where they get sent, right?
Right. After the
okay.
Fact. But if you know it's going to be 1 to 50,000, 50,000 to 100,000, 100,000 and above, right? With a 2% variance due to manufacturing fuck ups and shit that happens, whatever, right? But you can go back and look and you can say, well, wait, the jackpot for 50 to 100,000 was claimed and 100,000 and above was claimed, but what happened to jackpot 0 to 50,000? Okay, well, that's probably sitting at Joe Blow's gas station in the middle of Conroe that nobody goes to because it's in the middle of fucking nowhere, right? Okay, well, let me ask the lottery commission, hey, where are packs 0 to 50,000 right now? And in about a week, they'll reply and they'll give you a spreadsheet with every single location, pack numbers, whether the pack's been activated and is in a rack or if it's still in the safe. And you know, and you can narrow things down and go, cool, this is what I'm going to buy.
It's kind of like, just to give people a different example in using the gambling thing, because I don't play a lot of blackjack. I don't play a lot. But last time I was, where it was like, oh, it was when I went to the casinos. I had gigs in New Mexico. And so I was like, you know, I really need to learn how to play blackjack because it is a fun game. It's a cool game. One of the first things you start learning about playing, the only reason I never played is because if you hit on certain hands, people think you fucked the table up, even though it's your money, your cards. But they're like, hey, man, you weren't supposed to hit on that. What the fuck are you doing? But then you start learning if you're like, if you have, you know, 12 to 16 and the dealer has a 2 through a 6 showing, you don't hit. If you have 12 to 16 and the dealer has a 7 or above showing, you hit. So you start to learn that it's not going to affect the outcome, but it improves your odds. And that's what you're saying is, you're not going to go in and pick the $1 million winner, but if you can narrow the focus down to just a specific amount of tickets, your odds increase.
Right. So if you look at the Texas Lottery website, you can do some simple math and some deduction, right? If you look at the number of tickets, because it shows you the amount of winners, the amount of tickets. And you go, cool, amount of winners divided by amount of tickets should be proportional to the total amount of tickets. Well, amount of winners, amount of winning tickets, rather. So if it's 96% of the winning tickets have been sold, you can deduce that 96% of the tickets in whole have been sold. And then you can say, okay, 4% times the total print run is X amount of tickets. Okay, we're down to 100,000 tickets. There's still a jackpot. Okay, but not just that. It's in pool one, which is between pack this and this. I can go ask the lottery ticket where packs this to this, and then they'll give me a fucking map of where they're at.
That's absolutely amazing to me, man. And so how did you figure that out? Like, did you have somebody else kind of show you the ropes to this, or?
There's a lady that won like 8 jackpots, right? And I stumbled across an article that was written, and it had some shit about that, but then I started doing my own math and said, okay, well, cool, fuck it. Let's just see if this works, right? So let me pick a random ticket. It's got 10 million tickets, 10 jackpots, 1 in a million, 50 tickets per pack, 20,000 packs per jackpot. Let me see where the jackpots fell. Okay, so 20,000 times 1.02, I'm at 20,400. Okay, whatever. And I've got all the different pack numbers where it should be, and every single jackpot fell in line with where these packs should be. And I started doing it with other ones and other ones and other ones. I'm like, fuck, dude, it's every single ticket. Because what they don't want to do is fuck around and accidentally randomly print 3 jackpots in the first third of the print run, and then the last 66% of the tickets.
Never going to sell. Yeah, you're never going to buy them.
But the big jackpots, those are spread out so that they can sell all the tickets. So I don't care if I win, right? I already make my money. I don't care. But when you got 65,000 people, most of which are in Texas, and every now and then there's an anomaly, right? Where there might be 8 jackpots in a ticket, but the jackpot number 3 that should have been claimed like 6 months ago hasn't been claimed. It's either at a store or in the trash, right? Or somebody's holding on to it for whatever reason,
right.
But probably, right? So my goal is to say, hey, look, here's the information. And when that happens, I do this jackpot report, right? And I go, look, this is the fucking ticket to buy. If you're going to buy tickets, I'm not telling you what to do. Don't sue me. If you're going to fucking buy a ticket, this is what I would buy. And I'll get the report from the Lottery Commission, publish it, and say, here's where they're at. Call them ahead of time, see if they're there. Go down there, buy some tickets.
So not only are you scratching and showing people what you win and lose and letting them live vicariously through you, which other people said, like, I live vicariously through AR when he scratches. But not only are you doing that, but you're also making other videos where you're saying, look, if you want to play and up your odds of winning, have you ever, and you give them that info, have you ever had anybody reach out and be like, bro, because of you, I hit X amount?
So it was funny. One girl sent me, she won 10 grand.
Damn.
And she was like, I just watched your video on the best tickets to play, and I played this one, I won $10,000. Send me a picture.
I was like, bitch, send me a grand. What do you mean send me a picture? Send me a fucking grand.
Buy some merch, what?
Okay. Yeah, no shit. Buy a shirt, huh? What are you doing?
Patreon? What?
Yeah, right. Walt, by the way, said, I'm such a numbers geek. I'm loving this. Yeah, that's what, if you're a numbers geek, this is amazing.
Oh, man, I'm such a nerd. And I told you before, I've always had like a spreadsheet and then, a browser open on my laptop for the past 20 years, right? Just Excel and a web browser, because there's always something, right? But it's crazy, man. It didn't start like this. It was just shitty videos, and I wanted to make good videos that people would watch.
Where did the name AR Platinum come from? Because obviously your name's not AR and your last name's not Platinum.
No.
And you don't have to give your real name if that's part of your concern. Don't give out your real name.
Aaron. But I'm like you, right? Like, you went to Jersey Village. I went to Humble. Mm-hmm. A lot of my friends were black. I had a lot of black friends. I was gonna be a fucking rapper, bro. Like that was it, man. And I still have music, and I still use it as an outlet. But for years, that was like the rap name, right? And so it just kind of spilled over, and it was just all we had thought originally. It was like, all right, we got to have, cash money or whatever, this and that, all these different things. We like platinum. I could be AR platinum. So and so could be some platinum. And so I was just AR platinum.
So you were the token white boy in the rap group?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, and offline, I'll send you some of the stuff.
I was gonna
It's
ask you. I was gonna make you spit a few bars, but I won't do that to you. That's
Ask Alexa. There's one on Amazon called Go Ham. You have to call it by Dan Shot and R because it doesn't say AR.
okay.
I'll send you a link. But I got one that's on Amazon. I got a bunch that's just out there. But it was a great outlet for me. So that's why it kind of all that holla at your boy, right? And what up YouTube AR Platinum. It's always the same intro, same outro, right? Like, subscribe, comment, share, play responsibly, holla at your boy.
I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk a little bit about this fucking like and subscribe shit that goes on YouTube. I just made a video of me making a steak, which was fucking an awful steak. And at the end of the video, I made a conscious decision that going forward, now I'm sure that's going to change the more I whore myself out for YouTube money. Right. But I've always been the guy that's like, I'm not going to, if that's what everybody's doing, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't need to do that. I think it's silly to do that. But I know that's what people tell you to do. Because you can go to any YouTube how-to video on YouTube, which is a weird thing too, by the way. 90% of the videos on YouTube are how to make YouTube videos. I don't know. It's just like, it's masturbatory, I guess. But
right.
The one thing everybody says is you have to have a call to action, and that's basic sales, a call to action, right? That's basic marketing. But they tell you have to tell people to like and subscribe and click the bell to get notifications because they won't if you don't. I tend to not agree with that. I think if people like your shit, they know where the fucking subscribe button is. They know where the comments are. You don't have to point down below.
Yeah, I agree with the pointing because every time I do it, I'm like,
you feel like an asshole, right? Like it's like, okay, I don't want to be like, hey, look, go down in the comments, and then, like I don't want to be that guy that's fucking. I just want to be like, here's a video. If you like it, you're gonna fucking subscribe to my channel.
Right.
Now, I will say that it's a bit of cleverness on my part that the more I rant about it, the more I'm reminding people to subscribe. But I'm not actually like, make sure you like and subscribe. But you do that, and that's because it's effective, right?
It's the same thing as I didn't know they sniff their own parts. It's the exact same thing. It's some shit that I said like twice, and then it just became pattern.
Yeah.
Right? The first thing, so, okay, we'll do the token, how to make a YouTube video. The first thing I always do, because everybody asks me, and I'm like, I can't fucking tell you, dude. It's not a simple answer, right? Like, go to the Creator Studio and Creator Academy and do a bunch of modules, right? I hate to be module guy, but they tell you a bunch of shit. Branding was the first one. I've had the same logo, and I made it an A and an R. Black and white, so in your little circle that they give you, it's easy to see. It's been the same thing for the entire time. People know it's McDonald's arches. Mm-hmm. It's Starbucks, right? It's you glance at it and you know what it is, right? Okay, start there, right? Like,
I think cool. I don't have a logo. I'm gonna use titties. I'm just gonna get a nice pair of titties, and that's gonna be my logo. Yeah.
Click.
Yeah, I'm gonna get people clicking on them titties.
They will click the shit out of those titties.
You want to come click my titties, AR?
I'll click the shit out those titties. I'll click it like
that's what, yeah. You just,
I don't know if that'll work or not.
These supposed to be like, bro, you can't put titties as a logo. What? Look, Walt, titties. I got my first titty click. See? This is where I'm a fucking marketing genius.
You get 40,000 subscribers tomorrow because
I got titties as my business logo. Right. Now
they don't care.
I'm making videos of nothing. It's just Now, did you always do the make sure you like and subscribe if you wanted to see more videos?
I don't know how it's kind of like how they were like, oh, you changed shit. Like it was a tagline, right? It was like, all right, I gotta have an intro.
But no, I'm saying like your first video, the first one you did with the counterweight, and you told your wife and kid go in the other room. When you finished that video, did you say like and subscribe?
No, I said holla at your boy.
Okay.
And they were like, bro, you're not black. What are you doing? And I was like, that's how I did all my videos.
Yeah.
I've always said holla at your boy. And so that's always been a thing. I don't know where the like, subscribe, comment, share part came. I don't know. It's somewhere in there.
Well, sorry. What the hell was that?
Yeah. Alexa was like, "What?"
Get music details and take music.
Can you tell Alexa to shut the fuck up? We're trying to do an interview. Hey, Alexa, shut the fuck up. She heard titties, and Alexa was like, I got titties. Does anybody want to see my titties? Anybody want to see my digital titties? Yes, thank you, Patrick Randall, for your emoji titties.
Yes.
So I feel like a lot of people do that. Hey, make sure if you like this video, you like and subscribe and click the bell and get notifications because other people do it. What I'm curious is when you started doing it, did you notice an uptick in subscribers? Was it actually beneficial?
No, and the whole thing is fucking stupid, right?
I totally agree.
Let's be honest. It makes no sense.
As there's never been a YouTube video where the comments are above. Everybody always like, make sure you put something in the comments. Motherfucker, the comments are not above the video. You never need to point down. They know where they're at.
No, none of it makes any sense. I had a couple videos go viral. So one of the things I did when I was like, dude, we've got to break away. We've got to find a breakaway video. So I just I went on YouTube and I was like, lottery ticket. And I sorted by views, high to low. And the number one biggest video was every ticket in the machine. Because they have the machines like at Kroger and HEB and shit like that. And some guy bought like one of every ticket in the machine. He didn't buy every ticket in the machine.
He just bought one of every ticket, yeah.
Yeah. But one of every ticket in the machine does not have the same clickable title as every ticket in the machine, which technically, that's what you did. You bought every ticket in the machine. So I did that, blew the fuck up.
What, you did the same video, one of every ticket in the machine?
That's my biggest, one of my biggest videos. Had like 800,000, 900 million views, some shit.
Because I do find that interesting that one of the things that you'll see when you start looking at all these masturbatory YouTube videos about how to make YouTube videos is they talk about how, and you mentioned, creating thumbnails and stuff, that's important, but titles are important. And now I'm looking at your channel right now, 64,000 subscribers. I don't know how many videos you have, but it says popular uploads. You have a video with 1.1 million views from 2 years ago. The headline is, or the title is, I bought $500 in scratch-offs and hit big Texas lottery.
Yeah.
And so people wanted to see, you didn't say how much, you just said hit big. And everybody's like, well, what the fuck is big? Did he win $1 million? Because people want to see if you win $1 million, right?
Right. And so think about it like it's literally to the point where I thought about taking classes in media, right? Like headline classes, like you think of print media or like you guys, right? Teasers. I started doing at the end of the videos, here's what's coming tomorrow, right? Teasers. So they're like, oh, fuck, I got to come back tomorrow. And that was one of the biggest things I think that separated my channel from everybody else was you think about Netflix. If you're watching whatever, one episode leads to the next. How the fuck do you do that with lottery tickets? Right? So I was like, I got to find a way. So one of the things that I started doing that made everything kind of follow that path was these chase sessions that I do where I'll go to the gas station, I'll buy $400 in tickets, and whatever ticket I lose on, I go right back in and I buy the next one. And so come back tomorrow and see how we do it tomorrow. Smart, yeah. So there's some congruency, right? Whereas before, it didn't matter. If you missed today's video, fuck it. It doesn't matter, right? There's no lineage.
Right.
So it was trying to find things like that and just, the headlines, back to titles, right? Like I've looked at articles, how to write productive headlines.
How to write copy, because copy is all about headlines.
Yeah. Like if this was a column, not a YouTube channel, right? If I'm writing for sportsmat.com, ESPN 975, if I'm writing for SportsMat, how am I going to get clicks from a headline, right? So same type of shit. Like, how do I draw in an audience from a headline? And right now I'm fucked up because I can't use thumbnail. So I have to use conveyable titles to get people to click. And that's a tricky thing. There's a fine line between clickbait and reality.
Like,
So today,
like I bought one of every. I bought every ticket in the machine. Is
every ticket
yeah? It's a smart thing. Mother of
the comment or fuck you, you bought one of every ticket.
mother of two, wife of one said I subscribed to AR because of his voice. Look at you, got that silky smooth.
Dude,
But then she said I subbed to Barry because AR asked his followers to check out his comedy and I liked his stand up.
yeah. Which, by the way, I was telling my wife about your married people at home. Like, I just hate like this ain't gonna work. You know, I'm like that's like every other night. It's like, do you really?
Yeah, married people don't have sex because they eat too much. Is the takeaway? That's why we don't fuck. It's because we eat too much. Yeah, that's a fact. That is a fact of being married.
There was one that you did. I texted you about that shit. I was like, bro, I'm at HEB right now. Skype my wife to tell her there's no goddamn fucking sopa in the fucking soup aisle. Her Mexican soup is not there. Yeah. Look, I have to give her proof. It's not fucking there because I know she's like in the wrong spot. And I'm like, nah, bro, look, it's not there. I'm in the right place.
It's a fact, man. That's what I love about comedy, dude, is you can write about shit that everybody goes through and they appreciate it, which is also kind of like what you do. I mean, like I said, your channel it's not something people can't do. Like there are a lot of, if you're on YouTube, you'll see like either streamers or life coaches. And there's all these people that are doing things that look unattainable or unrealistic, whether they're fake or real, whether they have money or don't, what they're doing doesn't look practical. But what you do and what you're doing is something that anybody can do. But like you said, I think the difference is a lot of them don't, or they're too scared, or they don't have the money. So you're giving them an outlet to see those things. And it's just fascinating to me what you've built.
Well, it's just like you with radio, right? And it's another, I keep saying it. I tell people all the time, anybody can do it, but not everybody can do it.
Yeah, anybody can do it. Not everybody's good at it.
Yeah, you got to be a certain. I'm not saying you have to be an extrovert, right? Like, but you have to be able to be a certain person during start to finish, and then you can turn it off and you can be whoever you are, right? I tell people all the time, like, I'm not walking around like, yo, what up? Boom, 10x, wow, woohoo! But when the time is there for it, right? Like it's entertainment. It's acting. It's a character, right? It's a little turned up. It's maybe on a 6 or a 7. I'm normally like this. I'll talk to anybody. I don't give a fuck. My wife thinks I'm flirting with people all the time. I'm like, I'm just talking. Girl at the HEB one day had an entire cart full of Red Bull. I think she worked at a bar or some shit. I don't know. But I looked at it, and I looked at her, and I looked back at the Red Bull, and I looked at her, and I was like, late night?
Yeah.
And she was like, huh? And my wife was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, I just saw an opportunity for a show like this. That's it.
And she had a nice ass. But still, that's not the point. Yeah.
Titties.
It's titties.
But it's that kind of shit,
Yeah.
It's just trying to have fun, dude. Like, you can only scratch off lottery tickets so many fucking ways before you're like, okay.
What am I gonna do? One day, here's what you should do. One day, this is gonna go viral for you. Like, you're like, oh fuck. Here's what you do. All right, you get the book, but you scan the book cover. Okay, just scan the cover.
Yeah.
And then wrap a new book with that scanned cover. So people don't realize that it's a fake book. Drill a hole in the book. All right? Put your dick in there. No, put your dick in the hole, but cover it with Lotto tickets. Scratch all your tickets. When you get down to that last ticket, be like, man, do I have a surprise for you guys? Bam! And then show them your dick. I'm guaranteed you're going viral, bro. I mean, if it's little, it's going viral too. So either way, you're welcome. That's it. Yeah. You were looking for that one video. I think that's it.
Well, man,
you can start scratching off Lotto tickets on Pornhub, bro. You could have a whole Pornhub channel.
So the funny thing is, one of my buddies, right? I'm not going to say no names.
Shout
one of
out
my
to Frank.
buddies was like, bro, yeah. one of my buddies was like, bro, I'm doing these videos. I'm like, okay, cool. What kind of videos? He's like, yo, so I'm fucking this chick, right? I'm like, okay. He's like, but I need some advice. And I find myself giving advice to people with like their freaking
What's the best way?
with Pornhub accounts, with freaking their OnlyFans accounts and
Really?
shit like that. I'm like, dude, look, if y'all need it, because it's similar, right? It's marketing. There's similar marketing, just different content. So I find myself going, look, I don't need to see
Yeah.
the collateral damage, right? I'm cool. But here's what I would do in situation. Try it out. Let me know. Take 2 of these and
That's
call me.
hilarious, dude. Hey, man, I appreciate you doing this. This was fascinating. It was. I had always wanted to sit down and pick your brain about how you turned a channel of videos of you scratching lotto tickets into this little empire that you're building, and it's amazing. It's fascinating. It's awesome, and. Dude, keep doing what you're doing because you're fucking killing it. And I, you've shown me a lot of love and you sent people my way. You got me over the 1,000 mark and then you were like, get your views up, bro. You can monetize. All that I appreciate so much, man. Honest to God, it was the coolest thing in the world that you did that for me. And I do appreciate that. And I wish you the best of luck, man. I think it's fascinating. And if you haven't already, and by the way, I just want to tell, because we do have a lot of listeners to the radio show. And you listen every day, and we chat all the time on text and in private message. So go support a fellow suspect. If you haven't subscribed already on YouTube, go give him those subscribes and follows and all that shit. Instagram, all that. Everything is AR Platinum, right? Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all of it.
Just search Platinum. It'll give you Google it. It'll all come up. One word.
You got to
AR
tweet
Platinum.
out your the rap song. You got to tweet that link. What's that?
I'm gonna send you some local stuff.
Dope. Dude, I appreciate it so much, man. Thank you for doing this. Hey, and tomorrow I've got AJ Hoffman. So if you're on the chat, if you're watching this, if you're listening, AJ Hoffman tomorrow on the video. So make sure you check that out, dude. I appreciate you, buddy. All right, absolutely. That is AR Platinum. That was awesome, man. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.